The man accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
We're talking, of course, about 26-year-old Luigi Mangione.
On November 24th, we allege that the defendant arrived in New York City to murder Brian Thompson.
Especially the way it was done, it was so bad, right in the back.
Listen, I haven't seen any evidence that says that he's the shooter, so...
And maybe it's fake news, I don't know, it's hard to believe.
Lawyer reveals explosive details in Luigi Mangione case. Ladies and gentlemen, today, we uncover the startling revelations made by Luigi Mangione's defense attorney, details that could potentially alter the entire course of this case. What has been uncovered? What new information is coming to light? This isn't just another legal proceeding. This is a critical moment that challenges the very foundation of our justice system. What you're about to hear will make you rethink everything you thought you knew about this case. Stay with us as we delve into these shocking developments. Let's dive in. When attorney Thomas M. Dickey stepped up to speak, his demeanor was calm yet determined. "I don't know if this will be worth your while," he began, almost downplaying the gravity of the situation. But make no mistake, his words carried weight. He continued, "I'll try my best. These are not the words of a man unsure of his client's case. These are the words of someone who knows something the rest."
I don't know. I hope it's going to be worth your while. I can't promise anything, but I'll hear and try to do the best we can, okay?
Straightforward statement, yes. But what followed? Dickey boldly proclaimed, "I haven't seen any evidence that says he's the shooter."
He hasn't indicated pleas of not guilty. The only charges that we've seen thus far have been the ones here in Pennsylvania.
This isn't just a typical legal defense. It's a seismic statement, one that immediately cast doubt on the prosecution's case. What does it mean when an experienced attorney stands in front of the world and declares that there is no evidence, not insufficient evidence? But none this isn't about poking holes in an argument. It's about exposing the gaping void where proof should be. Dickey's words carry a gravity that goes beyond the courtroom. They force us to ask, how can someone be accused of such a heinous crime without concrete evidence to back it up? Is this a rush to judgment, a trial by public opinion, rather than by fact? His declaration challenges not just the case, but the very system meant to uphold justice. The attorney's unwavering confidence hints at something much larger. Is this a glaring oversight by the prosecution? Or could it be that Mangione is truly innocent, an innocent man caught in the crosshairs of a flawed investigation? Dickey wasn't just defending his client. He was laying the groundwork for a defense that could unravel the entire case. Remember the fundamental concept of American justice, presumption of innocence, until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Dickey reminded everyone.
Remember, and this is not just a small thing, the fundamental concept of American justice is the presumption of innocence, and until you're proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, and I've seen zero evidence at this point.
This wasn't just a legal platitude. It was a warning that what lies ahead could shake the confidence of anyone who believes in the integrity of the system. Why drive this point home with such intensity? Unless he's seen something, the rest of us haven't something that could turn the case on its head. The defense attorney's words suggest not just confidence, but knowledge of a flaw, a weakness, or perhaps even a fatal mistake in the prosecution's approach. What exactly does Dickey know that we don't? Whatever it is, it's clear he's ready to use it to his client's advantage, no matter how disruptive it may be to the prosecution's narrative. Mangione's courtroom demeanor has sparked widespread debate, with reports claiming that he was seen smiling and even laughing during key moments of the hearings. For some, these observations are jarring. How could someone accused of such serious charges appear so cavalier? Was it a sign of arrogance, a lack of remorse, or something more calculated? Critics pounced on the imagery, painting Mang as unrepentant, a man who seemed almost dismissive of the gravity of the accusations against him. But Dickey, as sharp as ever, didn't let these narratives go unchecked. "Use your common sense," he retorted. "If you or a loved one were in his position, you'd experience a range of emotions."
Use your common sense. If you put yourself in, you or a loved one in that position, it's, natural, I think, to go through many emotional states. As far as him not talking, as long as I'm going to be the lawyer, I'm going to do all the talking.
It's a bold rebuttal aimed at reframing the narrative. Far from being smug or indifferent, Dickey argued that Manon's behavior was entirely human, smiling, laughing, or even appearing calm under the circumstances could be a defense mechanism, a way to cope with the immense stress of standing trial. And let's not forget the context here. A courtroom is a high-pressure environment. Mon is in the spotlight, scrutinized from every angle and facing questions that could determine the course of his life. Could those moments of smirking or laughter have been misinterpreted? Perhaps nervous laughter, a fleeting smile out of discomfort, or even a subconscious attempt to project composure by turning the focus onto the humanity of his client. Dickey wasn't just defending Mangione's character, he was subtly dismantling the public's rush to judgment. He reminded everyone that we all react differently to stress. And if the prosecution or the media is hanging their arguments on a perceived smirk, it raises an even larger question. Is this case really about evidence, or is it about perception? But here's where the story takes a truly fascinating twist, one that reveals the brilliance of the defense's strategy. Attorney Dickey dropped a revelation that many didn't see coming. Contrary to early reports, Mangione had not waived his extradition rights. He did not waive extradition. We are using every constitutional right available to him, Dickey stated with unwavering conviction.
Apparently there's news reports already going out that he waived his extradition. He did not do that. And so that's why we wanted to make sure we're going to use the process and use the Constitution and the rights that are available to any one of us in this room and any American citizen or person charged with a crime.
Now, to some, this might sound like a minor legal technicality, a procedural maneuver with little significance. But dig deeper, and you'll see why this move could change the entire trajectory of the case. By refusing to waive extradition, Manon's defense team is forcing the prosecution to play by the book. Every piece of evidence, every document, every legal claim must now be meticulously prepared and scrutinized before Mangione can even be moved to another jurisdiction. It's not just a delay tactic. It's a calculated power play designed to expose any weaknesses in the prosecution's case. This move also buys critical time for the defense to analyze every accusation, question every detail, and build a counter-narrative that could dismantle the prosecution's claims before they even get a chance to take the next step in a system where rushing to judgment can lead to devastating consequences. This isn't just strategy, it's survival. And think about it, if the prosecution truly had an airtight case, why should this delay matter? The fact that they now face additional hurdles could reveal something much more telling, that their case might not be as solid as it appears. Could it be that the prosecution is unprepared to meet the rigorous demands of an extradition hearing? Or worse, could it be that the evidence they claim to have isn't as concrete as they'd like us to believe? Dickey's move sends a message loud and clear: his client will not be steamrolled by public opinion or procedural shortcut. We are using every constitutional right available to him, he emphasized.
We wanted to make sure we're going to use the process and use the Constitution and the rights that are available to any one of us in this room and any American citizen or person charged with a crime.
It's a declaration that Mangione's defense won't settle for anything less than a fair and thorough process. And it forces everyone watching to question whether the prosecution is ready for the challenge. What happened next was unexpected and bold. The contentious issue of bail took stage. Dickey, with unflinching resolve, argued that Mangione had an undeniable right to bail regardless of the serious allegations against him. Bail is a right, he asserted, cutting through the tension in the room. Even if it's set at $100 million, it must be granted, unless it's a capital case.
When you set bail, the judge could set $1 million bail. It could be $5 million bail, but damn it, you get bail. That's what you do. Since the crime, at least what was set forth by the district attorney, was alleged to be a second degree, that's not life without parole. So I believe that bail should have been set.
This wasn't just a legal technicality. It was a fundamental question about the justice system's integrity. Dickey's point was clear and provocative. How can anyone, no matter the accusation, be denied bail when the evidence against them, as he put it, was non-existent? His argument was as much about Principle as it was about Dickey reminded everyone that the presumption of innocence is not just a lofty ideal, but a cornerstone of the law. Pretend you're the one in the spotlight, he said at another point, driving the message home.
Pretend you're that one in that spotlight. You're going to want to be out. And, so yeah, I think he was entitled to bail, and the judge makes it 100 million or 10 billion or 100,000, he's entitled to bail. But to simply say no bail, in all due respect.
This stance raised eyebrows and sparked debate. Was Dickey merely playing the role of a determined defense attorney? Or was he pointing out a troubling flaw in the process? His words demanded attention, challenging the court and the public to consider whether denying bail in this case was justifiable or a step too far for Dickey. It wasn't just about Mangione. It was about ensuring that the justice system worked the way it was meant to, protecting rights, even when emotions and allegations ran high. But wait, there's more when pressed about why Mangione was in Pennsylvania in the first place. Dickey's response was deliberately vague. I'm not going to comment on that. Those 6 words were enough to ignite a wildfire of speculation. Why Pennsylvania? Was Mangione's presence there purely coincidental? Or was there a deeper, more intricate reason? The lack of explanation left reporters and observers grasping answers, their imaginations running wild. Was he there on personal business? Or could there be a connection to someone or something central to the case? The cryptic nature of Dickey's response only fueled curiosity. Some began to wonder if this was a breadcrumb hinting at a larger narrative. Could it involve hidden alliances, undisclosed motives, or even a broader conspiracy? The unanswered question loomed large, leaving everyone wondering if this case was about more than just Mangione himself. The media didn't hold back, grilling Dickey on every possible angle. One question stood out: Mayans' possession of masks. While the prosecution might frame this as suspicious, Dickey dismissed it outright. Masks aren't a crime. People still wear them post-pandemic. A mundane explanation, perhaps. But in a case like this, even the smallest detail can be twisted into something sinister. Was it just a coincidence? Or does the defense know something that we don't? And what about Manon's family? Surely they would play a role in his defense. But Dickey remained tight-lipped. I'm not getting into that. It's a move that raises questions. Is he protecting them? Or is there something they're not ready to reveal? Could the family be holding a key piece of evidence that might exonerate Mon? Or are they at risk of becoming targets themselves? As the interview neared its conclusion, Dickey delivered a final haunting reminder. Don't forget the presumption of innocence. Someday you may appreciate its importance. It's a statement that lingers long after the camera stopped rolling. In a world where public opinion often overshadows due process, Dickey's words are a stark reminder of what's at stake. And the way he said it, the weight of those words, was almost as if he knew something bigger was coming, something we're not yet ready to hear. But the real question is, what is the prosecution hiding? Could it be that this entire case is based on circumstantial evidence? Or worse, could this be a case of mistaken identity? The lack of concrete evidence, the procedural delays, and the cryptic comments from Dickey all point to a narrative that isn't as straightforward as it seems. Could Mangione be the victim of a larger plot? Or is this all part of an elaborate legal strategy? Luigi Manon's case has emerged as one of the more compelling legal sagas of recent memory, encapsulating a multitude of issues that extend beyond the immediate allegations against him. At the core of this situation lies a fundamental tension between the need for justice and the protection of individual rights, as Mayans' defense team battles to ensure that the legal system adheres to its foundational principles of fairness and due process. Manon's story begins with his apprehension in Pennsylvania, a location that has since become a point of entry. While the exact circumstances of his presence, they remain undisclosed. This detail has added an air of mystery to the case. Manon's attorney, Thomas M. Dickey, has declined to elaborate on why his client was in Pennsylvania, citing confident IAL and legal strategy. This silence has left room for speculation, with some questioning whether Manon's location was coincidental or indicative of deeper connections to the Unfolding Legal Matters. Dickey, a seasoned criminal defense lawyer with over 4 decades of experience, has taken a firm stance in defending Mangione from the outset. He has underscored the importance of the presumption of innocence, a cornerstone of the justice system. This principle asserts that every individual is considered innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, no matter how serious the allegations against them may be. Dickey's emphasis on this concept serves not only to protect Mayans' rights, but also to remind the public of the broader values that underpin the legal system. One of the key arguments put forth by the defense has been the apparent lack of evidence against Mangione. According to Dickey, no substantial proof has been presented to link his client to the alleged crime. This assertion has become a central pillar of the defensive strategy, highlighting the need for objectivity and caution in pursuing legal action. The absence of clear evidence has raised questions about the integrity of the case and whether the charges were filed prematurely or based on circumstantial information. The issue of bail has been another focal point of the legal proceedings. Despite the gravity of the allegations, Dickey has argued vehemently that Mangione is entitled to bail under the law in the United States. Bail is a fundamental right for defendants in most cases, allowing them to remain free while awaiting trial, unless they are charged with capital offenses or certain categories of first-degree murder. By asserting this right, Dickey has challenged the decision to deny Mangione bail, framing it as a potential violation of due process. Dickey's argument on bail also touches on broader questions about the fairness of the justice system. He has pointed out that the denial of bail, particularly in cases where evidence is lacking, undermines the presumption of innocence and places an undue burden on defendants. This stance has resonated with some observers who see it as a defense of the legal protections afforded to all individuals, regardless of the accusations against them. The legal proceedings have been marked by a notable lack of transparency, with limited information available about the charges and the evidence supporting them. This has created a challenging environment for the defense, which must navigate both the courtroom and the court of public opinion. High-profile cases like Mangione often attract intense media scrutiny, amplifying the stakes for all parties involved. The defense has had to strike a delicate balance between addressing public concerns and preserving the integrity of the legal process. Mayans' demeanor during court appearances has also drawn attention. Observers have noted his calm and sometimes outspoken nature, which contrasts with the seriousness of the allegations, while some have interpreted this as a sign of confidence. Others have questioned whether it reflects a lack of understanding of the gravity of the situation. Dickey has sought to manage his client's behavior, emphasizing the importance of remaining composed and allowing the legal process to unfold beyond the immediate legal issues. Mayans' case raises broader questions about the role of the justice system in ensuring fairness and accountability. At its core, the case is a test of whether the system can uphold its principles in the face of public pressure and emotionally charged allegations. The defense has consistently highlighted the need for transparency and objectivity, arguing that the absence of clear evidence makes it premature to draw conclusions about Mangione's guilt or innocence. The case has also highlighted the complexities of defending individuals in high-profile legal battles. Dickey's experience and strategic approach have been crucial in navigating the challenges posed by media scrutiny and public opinion. His emphasis on legal principles and procedural fairness serves as a reminder of the importance of adhering to the rule of law, even in the most contentious cases. The implications of Mangione's case extend far beyond the immediate legal proceedings. It serves as a reflection of the challenges faced by modern legal systems in balancing the need for justice with the protection of individual rights in an era where information travels quickly and public opinion can shape perceptions of guilt. The case underscores the importance of maintaining the integrity of legal processes and resisting the temptation to rush to judgment as the case progresses. Its outcome will hinge on the evidence presented and the arguments made by both the defense and the prosecution. For Mangione, the stakes are incredibly high, as the proceedings will determine not only his legal fate but also his reputation and future for the legal community. The case is an opportunity to reaffirm the values of fairness, transparency, and accountability that are central to the justice system. Ultimately, Manon's case is about more than one individual. It is a reminder of the importance of upholding the principles that define a just society, even in the face of challenging circumstances. Whether Mangione is ultimately found guilty or acquitted, his case will leave a lasting impact on the broader conversation about justice rights and the role of the legal system in safeguarding both. In conclusion, the case of Luigi Mangione is a complex and multifaceted legal saga that has captured public attention for its intriguing details and broader implications.